and welcome. In this recipe we're going to be using garlic, thyme, buttercup squash, green onions, Mrs. Dash, garlic and herb seasoning blend, all-purpose seasoning, coconut milk, plant butter, cornmeal, pumpkin flavored soup mix, and water. To start, I have set my coconut milk on the stove, and I'm going to be turning on the stove at this time to a medium heat. I'm going to be adding my green onions, thyme, and garlic to the coconut milk. I'm going to now cover my pot and allow the liquid to come to a boil. The coconut milk is now boiling. As you can see, we're going to now be adding our buttercup squash. These are going to be allowed to cook in the coconut milk. We're covering back our pot at this time, and the buttercup squash will now be left to cook. We're now checking on our pot, and the buttercup squash is now cooked. We're going to be adding our cornmeal soon. We're covering the pot in the meantime. Before we add the cornmeal, we're going to mix the cornmeal with our water to prevent lumping when it's placed in the coconut milk. So this is the cornmeal in a bowl, and this is our water that we'll add to it. Now using a spoon to just mix in the water into the cornmeal. The cornmeal is well saturated here, as you can see. So we're mixing it through. Yeah, so this appears to be good enough. And now we'll add our cornmeal mixture to our boiling coconut milk, seasoned coconut milk with buttercup squash. The cornmeal has now been added to our seasoned coconut milk with buttercup squash. We're mixing in everything for an even distribution. We're doing this for a while until all the mixture is properly distributed. Since the thyme has already been cooked out, we can remove it from our pot at this stage to prevent any obstruction. We're satisfied based on the mixing of the cornmeal, and now we're going to go ahead and cover our pot. We're going to reduce our heat all the way to a low temperature. We're going to allow our cornmeal to steam. Our cornmeal has been steaming for a while. We're now going to be stirring to prevent obstruction. While we stir, we're going to remove the green onion since it's already served its purpose. More time to be removed. All right, so we are stirring to allow the cooking to be distributed throughout. You see that the liquid is slowly drying out of our mixture. The aim is to get this to be nice and moist and fluffy. We're going to allow this to continue to steam until properly cooked. While our cornmeal is being steamed, we're going to be preparing our flavored soup mix to be put in the pot. So how we prepare it is to run it through a sieve, the mixture. There are noodles in the mixture and we are sieving out the mixture so that we can get just the powdered part of it to add to our turned cornmeal. So this is what the powdered section looks like. Only this section we're going to be using in our recipe. We're halfway through the cooking of our turned cornmeal. We're now going to be adding some spices and butter, starting with our flavored soup mix. Just gonna add some of it. Our Mrs. Dash, our Adobo seasoning blend, or all-purpose rather. We're gonna stir everything in for an even distribution. We'll now be adding our butter. Again, we'll stir in our butter for an even spread throughout our cornmeal. So we are constantly turning the cornmeal, hence the name, turn cornmeal, in order to achieve a tender meal at the end of cooking. Now that our butter has been evenly spread, we are now going to place back the cover on our pot and allow the cornmeal to steam. Our cornmeal is now done cooking, and this is what the finished product looks like. It's very tender and ready to be eaten. This can be added just on its own or with any beans and peas of your choice, or with a meat dish of your choice. So there you have it, all done and ready to be eaten.